Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about the S24 Ultra. The whole video will be about why you should buy the S24 Ultra. Simply because it's the best Android flagship phone available on the market right now, irrespective of where you are based off. Why do I say that? Well, I have been using this for the past 2 months now. And based on my experience, this basically checks all the boxes that you would want out of a flagship. Good display, check. A premium feeling, premium build quality, check. Brilliant cameras, check. All the bells and whistles that you want out of flagship, the features, the good processor, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So everything that you would want out of a flagship is there in the S24 Ultra. Now it may not be the best in everything, but probably this is the only Android flagship. This is actually among the top 3 in all aspects. You could argue that on cameras, the Chinese phones like Xiaomi or even the Google Pixel 8 Pro might be better in some situations. Yes, they might be, but this will be among the top 2 or top 3 in all the situations. Same in processing power, it has the latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. So in terms of raw benchmark power, other phones might exceed the Antutu scores, the Geek benchmark scores, but this will again one of the top performance phones. So on display, I think this is probably the best. I know there are some issues about the grainy screen, but according to me, I find it absolutely beautiful. And because it is basically now almost all screen, the bezels are symmetrical. Earlier in S23 Ultra, you might even argue that the bezels were not symmetrical, but now they have done away with the curved glass, and this is a flat panel, which makes content consumption even more immersive. Then you have the features like the AI generated features, wallpaper, circle to search, live translation, call translation. All those things you can even find on the Google Pixel 8 Pro, but you can even find it here. So again, this is not something available in other non-Pixel Android flagships. In terms of battery life, again, this is probably one of the best battery life you can get on an Android flagship phone. So let me just show you an example. So today I have used this for 3 hour 8 minutes and battery usage is 37%. Yesterday I have used it for 63%. So if you add it, it's actually 100% usage, and 5 hours 38 minutes yesterday I had used it, and 3 hour 8 minutes today. So if you add it, it's almost 9 hours for a full 100% usage. And granted, this was only on Wi-Fi, but even on 5G, you can easily get like around 6 hours screen on time, and this is basically the among the best you can get. Even like sometimes it even exceeds the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It depends on your use case. And yeah, these were some of the features why I think this is the best Android smartphone in the market. Now there's one more feature which actually is only available on this smartphone, which is the S Pen. This basically gives you an extra feature that no other smartphone can provide. No other flagship smartphone has this stylus. Forget flagship, even the mid-range or budget phones don't have this. So this takes the experience to another level. You might not use the S Pen regularly, but it is there if you want to use. Even in my experience, I have used it whenever I want to sign some PDF. My company sends some documents to sign, to check, to verify. Then I use it to sign. I don't need to, just write my name on that. So it gets useful. And also you can click it as a shutter button for a camera just by clicking on this button of the S Pen. And of course, jotting down notes. I cannot say how useful that has been while working. When I get into a meeting, I sometimes forgot to carry my notebook. So I just pull out my S24 Ultra, pull out the S Pen, and just quickly jot down the notes. So this actually makes it a very useful thing. It's not a necessary that you need to have this, but it's very useful you know if you want it. It's better to have when you need than not have when you need. Now about the software updates. Samsung in the past few years have been even beating Google at their own game in terms of providing software updates. This phone is currently running on the March security patch. Not many Android phones can, push out timely updates except Pixel. And this phone actually sometimes beats Pixel in pushing out the updates. It is a very good thing that Samsung is supporting their phones. So, it increases the customer's trust. Also, this phone will be updated for 7 years. Now, I have talked about the pros of this phone. There are some cons also, and it basically is a very like nitpicking. Now, if you want a comfortable phone which you can carry everywhere, without feeling the bulk, this is not the phone for you. This is a very heavy phone. I think it's around 234 gram, and especially if you put on a case also, which I recommend you should do, then you're talking about 270 to 280 grams. So, and of course, this is like a humongous screen size, and the corners are a bit sharp because it has a boxy design. So, it's not a very comfortable phone to use. Even if you put it in a jeans pocket, you can see that it is like trying to dig through your jeans pocket. I do wish that Samsung would have tried to decrease the weight of this phone, just like iPhone 15 Pro Max. iPhone 14 had, I think, 240 grams, and they decreased it by 19 grams to 221 grams. But still, like, I have gotten used to it. And if you're using a phone like this, you will get used to it. But that is something that could have been improved. Next are the cameras. Now, camera is, as I mentioned, it is one of the best in the market. But still, in terms of the raw hardware, it is not anywhere near the best. Samsung software does its magic, and that's why the photos come out so good. But imagine what could have happened if they would have managed to put in a big sensor like Xiaomi do on their Ultra phones, the 1-inch sensors. So, if they could improve the hardware and combined with their software, imagine what kind of photos we will get. I mean, that will be revolutionary. Next is the battery size. Now, battery life in general, as I mentioned, is very good. You can easily get 8 to 9 hours on Wi-Fi and like around 6 hours on 5G. But in the past 3 years, the battery size has been stuck to 5000 milliamp hour. And as you know, this year OnePlus 12 had 5400 milliamp hour battery size. So if Samsung could have increased that battery size and along with the efficiency they do offer with their software, the battery life could have been much better than other flagships. It is now still like almost always better than other flagships, but with a like a 300 400 milliamp hour more, imagine what screen on time we would be getting. So that is also something that Samsung can improve in the next generation. Then continuing with the battery, the charging speed. Now Samsung has been stuck with 25 watt and 45 watt charging speed for the past 3 years, I think. Even with the 45 watt charging, you need to buy a specific charger from official Samsung charger to ensure that it is charging at 45 watt, and it doesn't make that much of difference, maybe like 10 minutes. With 25 watt, you can charge this phone, I think, in around 1 hour, 5 minutes to 10 minutes. With 45 watt charging, you can charge it in around 55 minutes. But considering now the competition is now able to charge phones in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I feel Samsung and of course Apple also are still very much far behind. So I think at least a 65 watt charging should be the standard across all the flagships. With a 65 watt, I expect that if we can charge this phone in around 40-45 minutes, that will be, because with that, you can just charge it, plug it in, go get ready, and in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you will get enough juice to last you through all day because the battery life on this S24 Ultra is so good. So that is another improvement. I have heard that in the S25 series, they are going to increase the charging speed. So those were the things that I wanted to talk about in terms of cons. So as I mentioned, this is still the best phone out there when it comes to Android. Just like the S23 Ultra was the best last year, I think S24 Ultra is the best this year. And yep, with the caveat that the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, the Vivo X100 Pro might be capturing better photos in some of the situations than S24 Ultra. But if you take the overall package, the overall experience of using a phone, this is the top dog. There is no other phone that can come close. So that's it, guys. Please do like and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next video. Thank you.